Hello everybody, I am Chantel and welcome to the front nine of Pittock Disc Golf course located in Woodstock, Ontario. This is a nice little course. It is located on a reservoir, so there is a lot of nice picturesque holes. And as you can see, this was filmed a month ago, so I was playing in some pretty thick snow. So today we are playing from the blue tees, which are the longs. So hole 1 is a par 3, 291 feet. I am going to be throwing my ballista, and I'm just going to try and flex it around the one tree on the right there. And that worked out pretty good. Besides this, I get stuck behind the one tree that is blocking the basket. So I am going to have a straddle putt for my first putt of the day. But it is no problem, and I'm starting off with the birdie. Hole 2 is a par 3, 321 feet. This is one of the really nice holes. You are throwing towards the water, so I'm throwing my Shrike, and I put it on a little bit of hyzer, but there was just too much of a headwind coming off the water, so it flipped it and sent me flying into these they're bushes. I don't know what they are, but now I have to stick my foot in there and do kind of a funky upshot. And that was a little bit too high, but not too far away from the basket. And I have another straddle putt, which is okay because I have been practicing my straddle putts and I'm feeling a lot more confident now. So wasn't too bad, and I'm cleaning up for my par. Yeah, this is located on a reservoir, so this is the water. It's all iced over and it looks really pretty. Hole 3 is a par 3, 276 feet. This one, you just want to pump something up the fairway like perfectly straight. You don't want too much fade, and you don't want to turn it over because there are those trees on the right and they're pretty thick. So I'm throwing my leopard 3, just trying to keep it very straight, but I didn't have a very good run up there, so I pulled it right, and I am in those trees. So now I'm just taking my zone and trying to flick it up there on a roller line and just try to get it close enough to save my par. And that's fine. Another par. Hole 4 is a par 3, 270 feet. And I don't think anyone really has played the longs for a while, so every hole I basically had to make a little runway for myself. So I am going to be throwing my leopard 3 again. And that worked out really well at getting a nice flex and pretty close to the basket for my birdie. Happy with that. Want to get as many birdies on the front as I can because the back gets a little bit more tricky. So hole 5 is a par 3, 207 feet. Both the long and the shorts are from this tee. So I'm throwing my zone. There was a left to right wind, so I stabled up. Usually I throw the judge, and that faded out a little bit, but should be able to still get the birdie from here. Oh yeah, no problem. This is a nice little stream that goes right through the conservation area. Hole 6 is a par 3, 288 feet. This one is slightly uphill. So I'm going to be throwing my strike, hoping to get a little bit of turn on it. And it looked pretty good, but it just caught that hyzer angle and it skipped and faded pretty far to the left. So we're also not playing OB on this unless it's in the water, because there's not like a clear indicator where the fairways end. So we're just like, you know what, snow's hard enough. So I gave that a decent bid. Just gotta clean up for the par. Hole 7 is a par 3, 303 feet. This is another tee that was really buried in snow, so I had to make a little runway for myself again. And I'm throwing my Leopard 3, not trying to really reach the basket on this one. It is uphill, so it's pretty tricky to get there, especially in the snow. So I have a wide open look to the basket. I'm just going to be jump putting my judge up there. And close enough. Hole 8 is a par 3, 363 feet. This is one of my favorite holes at this course. It's kind of downhill and there's a nice big rock wall behind the pin. So I'm throwing my strike, again hoping to get a flex out of it. And I do, maybe just a little bit too much, but I get lucky there and I bounce through those bushes and I'm right in the middle of the fairway. It's a pretty long look, and you don't want to go too far because there is OB behind the fence. So just gonna be, I was in between a jump putt and a regular putt, and I kind of looked like I didn't know what I was doing there. But I'm close enough for my par. Oh, and you can see my glove back there. Don't worry, I picked it up. Not today, glove. Hole 9 is a par 3, 420 feet. This one is a big downhill hole, and I had a pretty hard run up, so I just chose to throw my Thrasher since it's pretty flippy, and I wanted to get a pretty good turn on it. And that was pretty good, but it did fade out a little bit more than I wanted, so I'm kind of behind this big tree. So I'm just going to be throwing my judge, just trying to throw it low. And that was fine. I left it a little short, but luckily it skipped up there, so I have a pretty easy putt for my par. Alright, so finishing the front 9 up with a -3. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you on the back 9.